Write your comment and click the subscribe button. Enjoy the show, and here we go. Tender Mary Whitaker 1990. The Wonderful Lonnie Anderson 1968. While I didn't take this photo of the California state capitol, my brother did on 35mm Anscochrome. I am the reason it exists. Blue Earth, Minnesota. September 1951. Dottie Sally. San Francisco circa 1918. Dale the bus. How did its passengers get on and off, or from front to back, on a vehicle whose seats seemed to extend the full width of the bus? Columbus, Georgia, circa 1948. Housing AC chicken house dwelling. August 1939. Washington, Yakima Valley, near Wapato. They now own 48 acres of good land. This good house, price $6,770. Circa 1897. USS Brooklyn Apprentice Boys. August 1939. Washington, Yakima Valley, near Wapato. Carrying peppers from garden. St. Paul Building, New York, 1901. One of the first structures to be called a skyscraper. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1960, and that's all we know. If you know these ladies, or are one of them yourself, speak up. Chicago circa 1962. Miss Eileen Dawson of American City Bureau at Tri-State Hospital Assembly Exposition. Air Shields Incorporated Isolette Incubator Display. Mariposa County, California, circa 1940. Yosemite Lodge Pool and Falls Vista. April 1st, 1938. San Francisco. Camera Craft Store, 425 Bush Street. Mr. Yar Young. Circa 1906. Elks Club, Memphis. Antlers in the attic, wallpaper in the basement. Columbus, Georgia, 1952. Soapbox Derby champion Joe Lunn at Curvins. San Francisco circa 1927. Willis Knight Model 66 sedan. May 1942. War factory worker in Denver. Circa 1906. Coaling a river packet underway on the Mississippi near Memphis. April 1865. Petersburg, Virginia. Federal Army Camp. Soldiers boxing. August 1908. Noon hour in an Indianapolis tomato cannery. Young fellows in front of boxcar. June 1943. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Miss Natalie O'Donnell, service station attendant at the Atlantic Refining Company garages. Washington, D.C., 1923. War Risk Bureau, Vermont Avenue and I Street, NW. July 1918. Alex, a 14-year-old working boy in Saint-Étienne, France, was found intently studying the playground model at the Children's Welfare Exhibit of the American Red Cross. (1906). Memphis Trust Building, Main Street. Completed 1904. (1906). City Hall, Vicksburg, Mississippi. The building still stands, although the angels have flown. June 1943. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Miss Natalie O'Donnell, service station attendant at an Atlantic Refining Company garage. June 1923. Washington, D.C. Aloha Band at Bureau of Engraving and Printing. A Beautiful Girl from the 1960s, a parody of Marilyn Monroe. April 1958. Hubert Leslie, human guinea pig for medical experiments, also an artist known as Hube the Cube, one of the beatnik community of San Francisco's North Beach district. August 1943. Southfields, New York. Interracial activities at Camp Nathan Hale, where children are aided by the Methodist Camp Service. First aid. Manhattan circa 1909. New Pennsylvania Station, New York, New York. The Beaux-Arts behemoth whose demolition in 1963. Detroit, 1907. Hotel Pontchartrain under construction. July 1943. Washington, D.C. A child whose home is an alley dwelling near the U.S. Capitol. June 1943. Miss Ruth Gusick, formerly a clerk in a drugstore, now works as a garage attendant at one of the Atlantic Refining Company service stations in Philadelphia. Circa 1894. Fritz Reuter, the Washington, D.C. hotelier, and his children Fritz and Gertrude. Pittsburgh circa 1910. Skinley Park Bridge and the Tick, Carnegie Mellon University. The Bay Area circa 1915. Chu Sing produced Truck, the fresh fruit Ford. Springfield, Massachusetts, circa 1908. Courthouse Place, Court Square Theater Building and Court Square Hotel. June 1925. Washington, D.C. Tacoma News. We need 2 more girls for the Kitty Conga line. October 1925. Washington, D.C. Fire at Drive It Yourself Company Garage. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1957. Boys with Cowboy Easter Bunny. June 1943. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Miss Natalie O'Donnell, attendant at the Atlantic Refining Company garages. Jordan touring car at San Francisco Piers, 1921. The SS Ventura at dock. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. Red Cross Group, Government Hotels. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950. And another snap from the housing series. July 26, 1919. Washington, D.C. Bathing Beach Parade at Tidal Basin. Santa Rosa, California, circa 1924. Graham Brothers truck at Nelligan's Sun. March 17, 1919. Paris. Interior of the American Red Cross garage at 79 Rue Laguerre. September 1942. Rochester, New York. Earl Babcock's school day begins with the salute to the flag. February 1939. Migrant laborers camp near Canal Point, Florida. In foreground is a bean hamper which they use to sit on and they call a muck rocker. Some of them are from Missouri and Arkansas. January 1939. Store and juke joint in Negro section of Homestead, Florida. Los Angeles, November 1970. Mary Tyler Moore rehearsing and performing on the set of The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Shands between March 1905 and August 1906. Very likely one Agnes Shands, the daughter of Washington, D.C., physician Aurelius Rives Shands. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Corina Wall, 1970s, Boston, Massachusetts, USA. American actress, singer Tina Louise, 1950s. June 1947. Bodybuilder Gene Jansen with wife Pat and 11-month-old son Kent. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1955, and the Youngsters. From circa 1955 Columbus, Georgia, comes this uncaptioned snap of two youngsters interacting with an authority figure driving a Buick. May 1930. Washington, D.C. American Road Builders Association earth-moving shovel. August 1908. A group of young fellows working in an Indianapolis tomato cannery. Circa 1900. Ormond, Florida. Princess Asina at Tomoka Landing. The Jersey Shore circa 1901. Driveway and beach at Long Branch. The Jersey Shore circa 1900. The beach at Long Branch. From Columbus, Georgia, circa 1957 comes this uncaptioned shot of two guys about to go somewhere. Cola? Check. Bedroll? Ditto. Daddy's Roadmaster? August 1943. Southfields, New York. Interracial activities at Camp Nathan Hale. March 1957. Gary, Indiana. Teenage girls in car at drive-in. circa 1896. Coconut Grove at McCormick's, Lake Worth, Florida. May 1942. Southington, Connecticut. A girl. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1960. Holiday Inn. In the garden spot of the South. October 1907. Marble Collegiate Church, 5th Avenue, New York. From Chicago circa 1962 came this uncaptioned shot of a toddler in a police car, literally in the public eye. Hopefully things have gotten better in the intervening 60-plus years. Circa 1910. Main Street, Springfield, Massachusetts. Columbus, Georgia, 1951. Future Marines of America Juniors. San Francisco, 1925. Ajax 6 sedan at Golden Gate Park Conservatory. Paris, France. Circa 1918. Sample Red Cross Rolling Kitchen, ready to travel. On exhibition at the Grand Palais. Manhattan circa 1900. The Bowery, New York. Washington, D.C., circa 1954. General Accounting Office, G Street, N.W. International Nickel Company. Installation of louvers. January 1912. Fall River, Massachusetts. In this group are some of the youngest workers in spinning room of Cornell Mill. The smallest is Joe Benevito's, 5 Marion Street. Circa 1905. South Union Street, Burlington, Vermont. From circa 1957 Columbus, Georgia, comes this uncaptioned snap of an accident's aftermath, a wrinkled 56 Lincoln Coupe. Circa 1903. Billy McLean. American entertainer and impresario, 1866 to 1950. The stunning Stacey Moran, 1990s. October 1942. Passaic, New Jersey. Factory owner Stanley A. Carlson, organizer of home machine shops for defense work. Carlson greeted by his family when he returns home. September 1942. New York. 2nd Avenue elevated railway at 14th Street in the midst of demolition. San Francisco, 1922. Marmon Roadster. With a few years and at least 3,000 miles on the clock. (1942) Shulman's Market at North and Union Street, SW, Washington. August 1942. New York, New York. Waiting for trains at Pennsylvania Station. From circa 1956 in Anytown, USA, comes this captionless snap of two young ladies and a broiler tray of chops, next to a chair with our name on it. Bon appetit. May 1943. Houston, Texas. Old house with fruit stand on Franklin Street. Manhattan circa 1910. U.S. Custom House, New York, New York. Truck fire. A burnout, watered down International somewhere in Oregon. Washington, D.C., 1935. And no caption, but I see a beautiful girl in front of an equally beautiful car. American film actress Irish Macalla, 1947. October 1942. The careful hands of women are trained in precise aircraft engine installation duties at Douglas Aircraft Company, Long Beach, California. Washington, D.C., circa 1905. AC Duggan, Technical High School. Track and field athlete Alfred C. Duke, Duggan, 1887 to 1964. June 1937. Packing Company strike. Cambridge, Maryland. Circa 1905. Children's Day May Pole Dance, Central Park, New York. (1919) Page touring car at San Francisco Golf Club. Chicagoland circa 1956. Peanut Man at Havahosiery Mills. Buffalo, New York, circa 1904. Main Street. March 1943. Santa Fe Streamliner Super Chief being serviced at the depot in Albuquerque. Servicing these diesel streamliners takes 5 minutes. Washington, D.C., 1915. Dr. Thomas J. Kemp Residence, 15th Street and Massachusetts Avenue, NW. Washington, D.C., circa 1921. U.S. Capitol, West Front. American actress Lonnie Anderson, 1960s. Augusta, Georgia, 1903. Georgia Railroad Bank, 7th and Broad Streets. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, circa 1908. 5th Avenue, looking north. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, circa 1908. Liberty Avenue at 7th Avenue, looking west. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. British film actress Jacqueline Bisset, 1966. The 1980s. The Enchanting Maria Whittaker 1980s. March 1957. Gary, Indiana. Teenage girls in car at drive-in. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950, and a print shop making fruit crate labels. Circa 1895. Hazimir, Washington baseball. Fan favorite William, Roaring Bill, Hazimir. Chicago circa 1958. Crime is all it says, a whodunit whose clues are a boy, a kitchen, a box, and some handcuffs. A Course, Michigan, 1904. Great Lake Engineering Works. Steamer Detroit, Michigan Central Transfer, Stern Quarter. October 1942. B-25 Bomber Assembly Hall, North American Aviation, Kansas City. Washington, D.C., 1957. Postman delivering issues of U.S. News World Report. December 1940. Children in the Tenement District, Brockton, Massachusetts. August 2nd, 1924. Washington, D.C. F.R. Hudzik H.W. Hornbrook. June 16th, 1923. Semaphore signals Boy Scouts at Lincoln Memorial. May 1st, 1943. South Water Street Freight Depot of the Illinois Central Railroad, Chicago. Columbus, Georgia, 1948. Curvin's department store fashion show Jerry Pound. Circa 1905. The Capitol at Washington East Front. San Francisco, 1919. Marmon limousine on Stockton Street at Union Square between Geary Post. Circa 1905. New York Central Railroad Station, Albany, New York. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1949. Safety Patrol Fund. A $50 check to Sergeant 97 of the Georgia State Patrol. June 1942. Inspecting a Cyclone airplane motor at North American Aviation in Long Beach, California. New York, 1908. George Bothner and John Perelli, standing. Washington, D.C., circa 1904. Willard Hotel, Pennsylvania Avenue and 14th Street. Philadelphia, circa 1904. Market Street and City Hall from 8th. December 1941. Washington, D.C. Christmas shopping. Salesgirls at Woolworth's. Washington, D.C., circa 1925. Sens Motor Company Hellman's truck. St. Louis, Missouri, circa 1900. Broadway north from Olive Street. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950. Library Gene Hollis. Cited by one source as Head of Reference Division, Bradley Memorial Library. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1954. Louise Mullen is all it says here. American actress Tina Louise, 1955. My mother and my father's mother on a chilly January day in 1966. Kodachrome slide I took in Copella, California, where my grandfather raised grapes from 1915 to 1953. San Francisco, circa 1921. Dora's 6 to 80 touring sedan at Spreckles Mansion. August 1939. Yakima Valley, Washington. Champion hop picker and squatter camp before the season opens. Earned $5 a day in the 1938 season. Washington, D.C., 1942. Children on row house steps, corner of N and Union Streets, SW. Detroit circa 1900. Majestic building and campus marshes. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950. Mrs. D.L. Randall. Hot Springs, Arkansas, circa 1901. The Eastman Hotel. Completed in 1890. Washington, D.C., circa 1942. Car in front of Schulman's Market on North at Union Street, SW. Philadelphia, circa 1905. South Broad Street from City Hall. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1948. Philip Schley and Musketeers is all it says here. September 1922. Washington, D.C. Nanny, a Swiss goat owned by Dr. James E. Chamberlain, holds the record of having given 7 quarts of milk a day for the past year. Detroit, circa 1907. Cadillac Square Soldiers and Sailors Monument and Hotel Pontchartrain. Ann Arbor, Michigan, circa 1905. Main Street, looking north. New Haven, Connecticut, circa 1900. Sheffield Scientific School, Yale College. San Francisco, 1928. LaSalle 328 sedan. April 1943. Trucks unloading at the inbound freight house of the Illinois Central Railroad, South Water Street Freight Terminal, Chicago. October 2nd, 1960. Richmond, California. Harbor Patrol. Circa 1941. From uncaptioned photos by Barbara Wright taken in and around Knoxville. September 1943. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A mechanic at the Greyhound Garage. Circa 1941. Miscellaneous lot of photographs by Barbara Wright. Tennessee, e.g. Tennessee Valley Authority, Knoxville. Charleston, South Carolina, circa 1905. Hotel St. John, Mills House, Meeting Street. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Sweet Gail McKenna, 1988. We hope you will appreciate our work. Write your comment and click the subscribe button. Enjoy the show, and here we go. beautiful actress Tina Louise 1956. Actress Irish Macalla 1950s. September 1938. Coal miner's wife and 3 of their children. Company house in Pusglove, Scotts Run, West Virginia. September 1938. Chaplin, West Virginia. Miner who has worked in mines since he was 14 and has tried to save money and have a better home, with his wife, suffering from bad bronchial condition and asthma. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. Mid-Washington Service Company, 14th Street Northwest. June 1915. Washington, D.C., 15th Street North from G Street NW. Washington, D.C., circa 1915. G Street NW East from 15th at Treasury Department. April 1865. Charleston, South Carolina. Post Office, East Bay Street, showing the only palmetto tree there is in the city. December 31st, 1912. Dime Savings Bank Building, Detroit. March 1917. Washington, D.C. Cosmos Theater, Pennsylvania Avenue. Inauguration Week Bill. June 1943. Silver Spring, Maryland. Man repairing his automobile. January 1939. Unemployed miner. Herrin, Illinois. May 3, 1926. Apple blossoms at Winchester, Virginia. Circa 1928. Tacoma Park, Maryland. Washington Sanitarium Laboratory. October 13, 1945. Child's Frick residence in Roslyn, Long Island, New York. Guest cottage south facade. January 1925. Washington, D.C. Wardman Motor Company and Carlton Garage, 1108 to 14 Vermont Avenue. Chelsea, Michigan, circa 1901. Glacier Stove Company, machine room. Detroit, circa 1909. Union Depot, 4th and 3rd Streets. Washington, D.C., circa 1925. International Exchange Bank, 5th and H Streets, NW. January 1943. Washington, D.C. Pearl Ginsburg refused to have her boarding house rent raised. I have no idea what this is about. Make up your own story. Probably early 1950s. San Francisco, circa 1927. Peerless 6-90 sedan at Japanese Tea Garden, Golden Gate Park. Washington, D.C., circa 1937. Lobby, Acacia Mutual Life Insurance Company building. (1940s) photo taken by my grandfather, Detroit news photographer Howard McGraw, of a young man who's really just too cool for words. Don't worry, the cigarette is not lit. November 1953. Beverly Hills, California. Comedian Groucho Marx sitting on a swing set with daughter Melinda. France. April 1918. The horrible disfigured man of war cannot cool the warmth of the friendship of his old comrade. Russian and Telegraph Hills, from roof of Ferry P.O. San Francisco. Palace Hotel, Market Street, San Francisco. After the devastating earthquake and fire of April 1906. a stunning woman from the 1970s. Washington, D.C., 1922. Department of Agriculture. First device to accurately measure a loaf of bread in cubic centimeters has been perfected by Bureau of Agricultural Economics. Washington, D.C., 1923. Dancer is all it says here. Washington, D.C., 1918. CN Odell children. Illegally but adorably parked. June 1939. Cowbat Quarter Circle U Roundup, Bighorn County, Montana. The Mississippi River circa 1900. Mardi Gras, New Orleans. Awaiting wrecks on the levee. Newport Beach, California. Balboa Bathing Parade, 1925. (1906) Mardi Gras in New Orleans. The Royal Chariot with wrecks at Canal Street Ferry. October 1939. Greeley, Colorado. Mrs. Milton Robinson, wife of Farm Security Administration borrower, in the kitchen of her farm home. September 1943. Cincinnati, Ohio. The children of Bernard Cochran, a Greyhound bus driver, doing dishes after Sunday dinner. (1938) Swimwear model on bow of skiff at Marineland. December 20th, 1909. Firemen spraying burning building on West 14th Street, New York. September 1943. Indianapolis, Indiana. A Greyhound bus station. Washington, D.C., November 24, 1924. Bonus Bureau Personnel Records Division. June 25, 1921. Washington, D.C. Bathing Beach Costume Contest. San Francisco circa 1920. Moon Auto. September 1943. Cincinnati, Ohio. Loading baggage on a Greyhound bus at the bus terminal. August 1937. Virginia, Minnesota Cooperative Service Station of the Virginia Workpeople's Trading Company. September 1937. Wife of John Halling, member of the Otsego Forest Products Cooperative. Otsego County, New York. West Main Street in Alhambra, California. Detroit circa 1908. Walker Block, Griswold and Fort SDS. San Francisco circa 1919. Franklin Touring Car. September 1939. A gray day in New York City, looking northeast from University Place. Boston, Massachusetts, circa 1909. Christchurch, Old North. Circa 1909. Madison Avenue, Toledo. November 1942. Pittsburgh vicinity. Montour No. 4 mine of the Pittsburgh Coal Company. Coal miner waiting to go underground. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Tina Louise in a charming photo shoot by the river 1957. Write your comment and click the subscribe button. Enjoy the show, and here we go. French film actress Michelle Mercier in the movie Angelique and the King, 1966. American actress Tina Louise, 1958. June 1943. Washington, D.C. Miss Helen Ringwald, employee at the Western Union Telegraph Office. (1912) Campus Martius, City Hall and Detroit Opera House. Cincinnati circa 1907. Federal Building, Custom House and Post Office. September 1918. Dinant, France. Calisthenic exercises before their swim. Little refugee boys from Nancy at their American Red Cross home at St. Lunaire. September 1918. Shell-shocked patients having a happy time fishing and swimming under the walls of the old chateau. These American soldiers are recovering from war neurosis. July 1938. Douglas, Georgia. Wife of sharecropper in town to sell their crop at the tobacco auction. March 17, 1919. Interior of main garage of American Red Cross, 79 Rue Laguerre, Paris, France. The Jersey Shore circa 1905. The Casino, Asbury Park. Detroit, 1905. Children's Day Playground at Belle Isle Park. Washington, D.C., circa 1924. Memorial Continental Hall, 17th Street Northwest. Detroit circa 1907. San Francisco circa 1923. Studebaker Big Six touring car. June 14, 1918. Red Cross comfort bag in the American Military Hospital No. 1 at Neuilly, France. February 1917, New York. Frieda Hempel, the German soprano and Metropolitan Opera star. Washington, D.C., circa 1921. Garfield Hospital. May 1943. Galveston, Texas. Newspaper delivery boys. Washington, D.C., circa 1924. Federal American National Bank Building, 1315 F Street, NW. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. George Washington University. August 1908. The Ball Team, composed mainly of glass workers. Indiana. Atlantic City, circa 1905. The Shelburne, Michigan Avenue at Boardwalk. April 1865. Charleston, South Carolina. Headquarters of General John P. Hatch, South Battery. Los Angeles, 1957. Trailer Life Model. A model just waiting to get hitched. April 1943. Baltimore, Maryland Peanut Stand. July 1940. Boys in Natchitoches, Louisiana, folding papers before delivering them in the afternoon. August 1941. Cowboy on a ranch horse in the corral at Quarter Circle U, Brewster Arnold Ranch Company. Bernie, Montana. Washington, D.C., circa 1928. Fire Department truck decorating. American actress Roxanne Brewer, 1966. Washington, D.C. Dunn, GU-28. Georgetown University forward John Dunn. August 1943. Arden, New York. Interracial activities at Camp Gaylord White, where children are aided by the Methodist Camp Service. Campers help with the kitchen work. Washington, D.C. War Risk Insurance Basketball Team, 1921. Indianapolis, circa 1905. Federal Building, Courthouse, Post Office, Ohio Street. Circa 1905. On the grounds of Kittatinny House, Delaware Water Gap, Pennsylvania. September 1938. Children of Coal Miners. Scotts Run, West Virginia. June 14, 1918. Seen in corridor of American Military Hospital No. 1 at Neuilly, France. September 1938. Homemade cane furniture in bedroom of coal miner's home. A company house. Pusglove, Scotts Run, West Virginia. March 2, 1962. New York City views. Downtown Manhattan skyline from the Al Smith houses. June 1918. A serious operation by the company barber at American Military Hospital No. 5 at Auteuil, France. Washington, D.C., circa 1921. Auto School. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. Old Dutch Market, interior, 9th G Streets, NW. Circa 1905. Lower St. Regis Lake, Paul Smith's Hotel, Adirondack Mountains, New York. New York, circa 1905. Sheep in Prospect Park, Brooklyn. A parade in Coshocton, Ohio, sometime in the 1950s, including the Coshocton Street Department decked out in safety orange. From my grandfather's Kodachrome slides. Savannah, Georgia, circa 1900. Hotel de Soto. June 24, 1918. Representative of American Red Cross Home Communication Service distributing cigarettes in hospital at Contrexeville, France. June 12, 1918. Dressing the wound. American Military Hospital No. 1 at Neuilly, France, Dr. Johnson. November 1900. Washington, D.C. Pennsylvania Avenue from Treasury Building. April 1943. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore Transit bus with trolleys of 1917 vintage. Many old cars have been reconditioned because of wartime transportation pressure. San Francisco circa 1920. Standard 8 sedan at Golden Gate Park. This is somewhere in the Essex County, New Jersey area and is dated July 31, 1938 on the back. Evaristo Gallegos OK store was opposite the courthouse, so this is 4th Street in Santa Rosa, New Mexico. Detroit, Highland Park, circa 1916. 4 o'clock shift, Ford Motor Company. Niagara Falls, New York, circa 1908. Falls Street at night. Sweet Gail McKenna 1989. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. The beautiful Sheila Gable 1959.